All right. Back once again with the ill behavior. This is the Chill Bill Show. And I'm the ill Bill. And let's go ahead and, you know how we do body count. Does it matter? Hell yes. But let's see what these girls got to say.
And, have motivate. At least that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a motivated guy who's going to help me with my business and build his own, and just kind of like, I want to grow with someone, basically.
I think it's entirely fine to have preferences.
What's the business? The one thing coming in halfway, I assume OnlyFans, right? So you want a guy to help you with your OnlyFans? Is that what we're talking about?
Whether you're a man or woman, it's just upsetting to women when men only see us as our bodies and our
That's
body
true,
count.
too.
I agree.
Your body count doesn't have to necessarily do with your body.
That is
like it's behavior.
It depends on how you value women.
I mean, what's the first word of that?
Yeah.
No. But body count, if you've slept, aside from transmitted diseases, which we can talk about, having had a lot of sexual partners does not change your outward physical appearance. Although
it's
perhaps
not really about physical appearance. It's about how you value women's bodies. And
how we value women's bodies.
And to be clear, we place an extreme high value on women's bodies. You're saying that like we don't value women's bodies at all. We're telling you that we value it so much that we value you not sleeping with more men. if you come, the purer you come, the higher the value we perceive. That's just the way it is, right?
How I value but your past sexual behavior is a behavior, not your physical body.
Yeah, I understand that. But when I see a guy who I'm interested in, I don't see him as just his past relationships or what he's done in the past. I see him as his personality, his intelligence, the way he treats people. There's more going on.
Yeah, but you have very specific things that you look for first before you even get the opportunity for the guy to get to know the personality, this and that, whether it be physical traits or some type of provider traits or security traits, those types of things.
I certainly look at other things too besides just a woman's body count, if you think that that's the only thing I care about.
But you did mention that once you find out a woman's body count, it's like an eyebrow raiser and most of the time a red flag.
Sure.
Yeah.
So
women have things that might be deal breakers for them too.
Okay, but say you never knew the woman's body count in an alternate universe. Say you didn't know her body count, but you grew to know and love her for her and the qualities that she has that don't have to do with her sexual past.
So she's assuming that a man can't tell, when usually a man can tell. If you're promiscuous, like you just have certain traits and behaviors, and a man can pick up on that. I mean, not all men, but most men, right? They can tell. And you can attempt to hide it, right? But for how long? She's acting like you would somehow get all the way through a certain amount of time into a full-blown relationship, this, that, and the other, and that you wouldn't already have known what her past was like. I mean, like, you may not have asked her directly. You may not know the exact number, but you'll know. You'll know if she used to, whatever, be for the streets or not. Like, it's not rocket science.
Well, and so you're saying I'm with a girl, the body count thing never comes up. We've been dating for a year, fall in love with her, and then somehow I find out.
Like, as if that's possible. I'm just saying, like, most men will understand that their woman has, whatever her body count is based off of her behavior. Now, he might not know the difference between 5 or 10 partners or 10 and 15 partners or that direct, but, he'll definitely have a pretty good understanding of whether it's many or few. Right.
She slept with 100 men before me.
I'm a
Is that kind of what you're asking?
Yeah.
Goodbye.
And he said goodbye, but like, how you gonna get a year and not know? I mean, maybe you didn't know she had an OnlyFans, but then you weren't asking questions, you weren't paying attention to the signs, like you deliberately were ignoring the "I got 100 bodies" sign. Okay.
Bye. Goodbye.
Wait, so do people think that if you have a lower body count, like you're automatically going to be able to get like a higher rated guy?
or like
Wait.
you're any
Well,
better
no,
of
I
a
don't
that's
think those two
true.
things correlate.
Can you repeat that
like
again?
I saw a comment earlier and it was somebody was saying like if you have like a lower body count, like you're more likely to get with like the top 20% of men.
Wait.
No. Having a low body count doesn't guarantee that you're more likely to get with such and such. But what it does mean is that a man who has options, who has, status, right, significant, all things being considered equal, if you are standing next to another woman, right, who fits all the bill just like you do, but the difference is that she got 3 bodies and you got 20 bodies. And he's looking for a woman of significance, right? For kids or marriage or whatever. He's going to go with the one, probably more often than not, he's going to go with the one who's got less history. We'll just put it like that, right? There's a lot less things going on. You got 20 bodies. That means you got 20 people at least, right? Who have been printed on you in some kind of way. They have affected your life. They have taught you lessons, whether they be good or bad, right?
Hold on.
Like with a lower body count.
If a girl has a lower body
Yeah.
count, she's more likely to get with
Yeah, it's like
High
date like
value
a-
man.
Yeah, high value man.
I disagree with that because let's just put into example the girls in LA. I'd say they have a lot higher body counts than other girls in, say, Wyoming. And who's dating those guys in LA, the high value ones, the girls with the high body counts?
That's true. But LA, is also one of those areas, it's about status, right? So if you're a man of money, you want to be seen with the woman who looks good, and on average, women who look good have the ability to be with more men with money, right? Like that's just how it works. You know what I mean?
Just because of their looks, regardless of the body
LA
count.
guys
Okay.
are not high value.
So what I would say is that if you
And if he said, whatever, OnlyFans girls are not high value, I bet you get a bunch of pushback right there.
if you have a low body count, men will recognize that, and that will be something that they value in a partner for long-term commitment. I think you ask most men, that's a major plus if you have a low body count.
It's like relationships like is more likely to be stronger if a female has a lower body.
That right there is a possibility because, again, the lower the body count, the more likely she is to pair bond, the less history and people that she has to judge you against, right? The less the grass is greener on the other side, BS, you know what I mean? Like whatever the case may be. If a woman has been with less men and she really loves you, like it's easy for her to fall in love with you and for you guys to have a really good, solid connection without the possibility of external influences, right? Like that's all it boils down to.
Body count.
We're probably okay. So
Correct.
a lot of guys, when it comes to just like, for me, even if it's something casual, which I'm not particularly interested in, I'm not interested in one night stands. It doesn't interest me. If I want to sleep with someone, if I want to have sex with someone, I want a continuity. I want to keep seeing them. But a lot of guys will tell you, for casual sex, for friends with benefits, body count, whatever. But for marriage, for wife, for kids, for long-term relationship, that's when they're going to care a lot more about your past promiscuity. So I would say, yes, if you have a low body count, you are going to be much more appealing to a high value man, let's say.
Okay, let's talk.
Appealing in general. It's not just a high value man. It's the way you're perceived from the other sex, right? Most men will perceive the woman with a lower body count as having a higher value. All things else being considered equal, of course, right? The woman with a low body count, is arguably a 5 versus a woman who's an 8 or a 9, you're talking about, I don't know.
I'm gonna ask this question then. Say you were dating a girl and she has a body count of 6 people, but 4 of those 6 people were married men or her best friend's boyfriend or
Damn.
something like that. But you don't know that information. All you know is that her body count is 6.
I still only care that it's 6. I don't care.
Especially if you don't know that information, right? How do you ask it? You're saying, okay, a woman this, but you don't know that information. Like if you don't know that the 6 were through, those types of situations, right? That wouldn't affect you. You wouldn't even know it was 6 unless you asked her directly, but you would assume it was slightly lower versus the way she moves. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
No.
Wait, can you just repeat the last part? So the guys were married. What was the other part of it?
Okay, so you don't know the details behind the information of the body count being 6. All you know is that her body count is 6, and you're comparing it to a girl with a body count of, say, 20, who they've all been guys that she was either interested in or dated in some form. You're gonna say that you would rather say goodbye immediately to the girl with 20 as opposed to the girl that has a body count of 6.
what age is she, honey? That matters a lot too, right? Like I don't know how old these people are,
But 4 of the 6 were married men or her best friend's boyfriend or something like
She's
that.
still been ran through less. At the end of the day, she's still been ran through less.
But she's
the
made
worst
horrible
reason?
decisions.
She might have been.
she says she makes horrible decisions. You've been with 20 men. I don't know how old these girls are. You've been with 20 men and you 24. You've made horrible decisions. Silly.
We all make bad
Okay,
mistakes,
so-
but she's
wait,
made
wait.
less
Aren't you
mistakes.
saying quality over quantity, or is that what you're saying? Like,
the whole argument started talking about whether this was about bodies or not. And the argument was that it's actually about like sexual choices. And so
Well, those two things go hand in hand when you are a woman from a man's perspective, right? Like he's going to think if you got a high body count, you've made bad sexual choices in the past. Like that's just all it is.
it's a sexual choice whether or not you're going to sleep with your friend's husband. It's a sexual choice if you're going to cheat on your partner. Those are terrible sexual.
Yeah, and you gave him you gave him to pick 2 of the lesser evils, right? Like high body count, terrible choices, or low body count, but through scummy situations, terrible choices, right? But you also said that he doesn't know about the scummy situations. So all things being considered equal, right? He knows what 20 means. He knows you made bad sexual decisions in your past because you've got 20. That he knows. He doesn't know about who the 6 were and what was going on according to your information. So dude's gonna pick 6. Most dudes are gonna pick 6. Why not?
Choices. That's the point she's making. However, you're saying that
That's a morality issue, not a
right. Even if she did that with 6 people, horrible moral choices, you're saying that you'd still prefer her over somebody who's been with 20 guys that were normal moral hookups. So
20 guys are not necessarily normal moral hookups. There's something going on there. If you're jumping from dude to dude to dude to dude, you're having issues bonding, you're seeking something, there's some kind of an issue going on there, and you're giving your shit away willy-nilly just because you're living together, they're paying your rent or you're dating or whatever, you know what I mean? Doesn't make a difference. Like why would you continue to seek from guy to guy to guy to guy? Like that's an issue.
So you choose a cheater.
Her value is still her. If we're gonna get a little.
So that means it's about the body.
if the body count.
Wait,
the
what?
quality
You see what I'm
over
saying?
quantity, no?
yeah, that's
Like,
I don't even.
okay, okay.
It's not about the
Like-
quality. It's not about the quality versus quantity when it comes to a woman. It's about the quantity.
You wanted to come in? Go ahead.
No, I was trying to explain to you because you look so confused. Like, if
Explain.
a girl, like you're like,
Yes, because a woman who's got 3 bodies, who has 3 terrible partners, right, could still potentially pair bond with a dude and have a good experience from there on out. A woman with 40 bodies or 30 or 40 or 50 or whatever it is, right, like the likelihood of her being able to find fulfilling life and comfort and not the grass is greener bullshit and all this other stuff, you know what I mean, with number 51, like, what are the odds, right? Like that's what it boils down to.
seeing
What
two
are the
girls.
odds?
One girl has gotten with like 20 people, but they were just like regular guys, whatever, like met through dating.
Never mind all the other reasons why a man prefers a low body count, right? Like historically, when it comes to childbirth and like DNA and making sure that you're not supporting other people's genes and you know what I mean, like all these things, right? Like this is all that all ties into the same decision.
Apps like normal people. But this other girl has a body count of 6, but each of those people have been like a homewrecking like case, like best friend's boyfriend, a married dude. Like they were
She
very
cheated.
immoral like choices. But it's still lower than 20. Like which matters more to you?
If she was cheating,
But you didn't know that information.
yeah.
All you knew were the body counts. You knew
Oh.
20 and 6.
Well, then
I
this
didn't know that.
entire argument is invalid because you'd have to assume that you knew that.
Exactly. This is what I'm saying. They're asking a nonsensical question. Like, you can either say, okay, which ones would you choose? You know the history behind it, so make a choice. Or which one would you choose? You don't know the history behind it, so make a choice. If you don't know the history and I'm only going off of everything is considered equal, the only difference is 6 is 20, then I'm going to pick 6. Like, there's no reason for me to pick 20. I'm making a bunch of assumptions at 20, right? Could she be the diamond in the rough at 20? Sure, maybe, I guess. I doubt it. That's the issue. Most men are not. We make, these decisions are logical based. So we're going to pick the 6. We don't know about the immoral decisions that she made leading her to 6, right? That's what you just said. Now, if we do know and we pick the immoral girl, we're thinking about the circumstances. Did she know the dudes were married? Was she just that gullible? Okay, or was she actively going? You know what I mean? Like, was she a homewrecker? Like, there's a difference there, right? So now we look at a bunch of information, and if it's all bad, it's all bad, right? Like, whatever. It is what it is. But the point is, you can't ask a question, say you don't know, and then get mad at him for making the decision that sounds immoral. You're not giving him enough information to make that decision.
That information.
Yeah,
Yeah,
knowing
I think
the
it matters
information.
if you know. Yeah.
If you know, but we're not going to know.
But okay, but the point
That's
of
what she
it
just said.
is, it's
You don't
like
know.
you are then dismissing women for their body count just based on a number and not based on the choices made with the number.
Like how many times a penis
They
has
still
gone
have a choice.
inside
They still
her
made many.
instead
They still
of
made.
the
They still made
choices.
choices. They still made less choices.
Again, you got 20 bodies, you're promiscuous, you're loosey-goosey. Like, so we know automatically off of that you don't hold that value. You know what I mean? Depending on your age and what, obviously if you're old, it is what it is. But like, the fact of the matter is like, we make assumptions based off of these bits and pieces of information. And there's a high likelihood that those assumptions are real because they're based off of reality.
Then they
Is anyone in the chat confused? Okay,
I'm sure everyone's
I'm a little confused.
Exactly.
So you're comparing. You're comparing a woman with a low body count who's cheated on her partner to a woman who's has a 20 body count, but she's never cheated. Like, it's just kind of like
20 versus 6.
how
What are we
about
doing
I
here?
would just prefer the girl with 6 who hasn't cheated on anybody.
Well, obviously,
Right,
in
well, that's
a
not-
dream
that's
not
world,
an option.
we were
If I had
giving you
to-
2 choices to pick
We're just
from.
saying how deep does like body count go? Like,
Well, there's so many, sitting here, right? You're thinking about these options, okay? Like, and a guy who has, any kind of status, he can choose option 3, right? Like, you didn't give him that option, but that's because you're not thinking about that, right? You're just putting him in a corner.
I'm just
That's
saying, like,
the-
this is what I'm trying to say is like the dismissal of the body count number, regardless of the decisions made. So you are dismissing a woman based on how many partners she's been with, and not that maybe she truly loved in comparison to
If you
somebody.
love 20 guys, that's a problem. If you
Depending
love
on your
20 guys-
age.
That
Yeah. So the whole depending on your age thing, yes, the older a woman gets, the more bodies she's going to accumulate. So if you're older, if you're in your 40s and you got 20 bodies, that's, one a year or whatever since you were 20, like, but the problem is you're 40 now, right? Like, you're not going to get, you're too, you know what I mean? Like, that's not who they're talking about right now. Like, we're talking, and even then, like, why are you sleeping with so many dudes? Like, what is, don't you care? Or no, you don't care.
How old?
20?
How many times do you fall in love in life?
Yeah.
I think they
Exactly.
say
Fall
the
in love,
average
but
person
had-
kisses 7 people in their life.
That's the
a woman could be a virgin and there could be other disqualifiers. There could be just because you're a virgin or you have an insanely low body count, that doesn't instantly guarantee you a relationship.
Nope, and it doesn't instantly guarantee you that the dude that you want is going to even want to smash. You could be, having other issues, right? Your personality could just be all jacked up. He'd probably still smash, but you know what I mean.
But
No
there,
one
so
even said
there
that.
can be other disqualifiers. It's not just like, oh, she's got a low body count. That's all that matters. There's other stuff. But I mean, I just want to bring it back to you. So you said that it's disheartening to hear that men value women for their bodies.
Yeah. What's the question there?
I think
Well,
you're talking about the body count, not the body.
No, but you said bodies.
I think a lot of men view women as
A little closer.
physical.
And women don't?
I don't know. It's fine to have physical preferences.
Are you talking about physical appearance?
Not exactly, because body count isn't exactly physical appearance, but it's something physical about women.
But so
You know?
It's not physical. Yes, you've been with a person physically, but it's all the other things that come along with it. All the emotional issues, the immoral, like unconscionable decisions, the loosey goosiness of it. Like it's all of that. It's not just the oh, you've had 20 dudes, so that's gross. It's not just that. Like it's all the other problems that comes with it, and you're not picking up on it.
But so it upsets you that men care about women. Okay, so let's ignore body count here for a sec. Let's talk about physical characteristics, physical attractiveness, physical
Yeah.
appearance. Does it bother you that men are attracted to women's physical appearance?
No. It's fine to have physical preferences. Just saying it's upsetting when men only care about that. When they're not.
Men don't only care about that, right? I'm gonna let you keep going, but that's just what gets you in the door, right? Like if you're busted, okay, you're not, a lot of men aren't gonna, take you serious or whatever. But and if you look good, then that just gets you in the door. That's not what keeps you there. Like just like you have your get in what he's got to have to get in the door. Maybe he's got to be over 6 feet tall. Maybe he's got to, he's got to have the chiseled jaw and he got to be ripped. Maybe he's got to have the rides, you know what I mean, of the house or the this or the that, or he's got to be an Ivy League graduate or God knows what it is, right? But that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is because you're not providing all that stuff that he's going to be providing. You're providing something completely different, specifically femininity. Right. So if you're providing femininity to the relationship, right, then the feminine part is what he's going to value above most of the other things. Definitely first.
Valuing women for their substance and just what they see.
Well, okay, so now to reintroduce body count into this. So wouldn't a man preferring a woman with a low body count actually be valuing her substance beyond her physical appearance?
Yeah, you could say that. I'm not saying it's not okay to have preferences in regards to that. I'm saying when men only focus on that, that's still a physical space that you're.
Men are only focusing on that, but they're just weighing that heavily. That's all that means. Men are definitely focusing on other things. He might smash. He might just sleep with you, quick and easily, and not worry about nothing else. But to take you seriously, he's going to be worried about all the other things. He's going to be worried about the things that not all the things that you're talking about, but a lot of things. Your mind, your this, your that. You know what I mean? Like the job or the drive, the motivation, whatever. Like that he'll care about those things later, right? But there's some things that he cares about first. Just like there's some things you got to check these boxes before he even comes close, right?
You're looking into.
Let's up the number. 6 versus 30. Let's up the number. The girl with 30 bodies, she's been an amazing girl. She's never done anything wrong. She's never cheated on anybody. She's actually got her heart broken plenty of times. But she's still decided that 30 men were able to sleep with her.
And that's 30. I mean, how is that 2 a year? Right. Okay. So, like, what is that? If it's 1 a year, how old is she now? You know what I mean?
Versus the
What are we
one
talking
with
about?
6, maybe she cheated on her boyfriend, her last boyfriend. Maybe she hooked up with somebody who was married. Maybe she doesn't even know that he was married. So it's still, at the end of the day, it's 6 versus 20. It's 6 versus 30. You made 6 bad decisions. They made 30 bad decisions.
But why are they bad decisions?
Why were the bad decisions if they were done through
Because you're so loose with it. You don't value yourself the way that you should. There and on top of that, if you don't value the most basic, most beautiful part about you, right, which is your body, because that's the thing you came here with, and that's the last thing you're leaving when you go, right? Like, if you don't value that, which is the most important, how is that going to translate to all these things that are secondary and tertiary to that? You know what I mean? Like, when it comes to kids or family or relationships or whatever, how loosey-goosey are you going to be with that stuff, right? It's just your history and your behaviors, just like, you know, that you get more time for being a second and third time felon. Okay, that's just the way it is. It don't matter if it was jaywalking; they're gonna treat you different. You know what I mean? Like, so your history it matters. You gotta remember that.
I don't know.
We all
somebody
make
you're
bad
attracted to
decisions.
or-
The man makes bad decisions too. It's not just a one-sided thing.
Okay.
But she's more likely to be a bad person. Like you said, if not, like she's a great girl, but she just has a
I don't-
body count.
See, automatically, she's more likely to be a bad person. Nobody said she was a bad person. What? They ain't talking about her as a person. Nobody's talking about that. You're talking about attraction on the sexual market value market. You know what I mean? And her value, right? That's what you're talking about. You're not talking about whether or not she's got good morals or high standing or great in the community or what she's given to leaving to Earth when she got, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's dumb.
I don't think
those two things correlate.
I don't think having a high body count makes you a bad person. I think what we're trying to say is, for a lot of men, and it's at least speaking for me, and I think this is also Kate's position, if you have a high body count, if you have a promiscuous past, it precludes you from a long-term serious relationship with us.
And
with
also,
a
it
lot of men.
makes it harder to bond with your partner as well. That girl with the 6 bodies, she'll have an easier time bonding with you versus the girl with 30.
But she's more.
That's right. The girl with 6 bodies, none of this is guaranteed, but the girl with 6 bodies meets up with you. You're providing everything she needs. She's providing everything you need. And for whatever reason, y'all feel like y'all can settle down. It's like easier to come into another person's space and be like, okay, I'm going to become part of your life. When you've had less partners. When you've had a lot of partners, it's like, oh, my shit is my shit. I don't want to lose it again for the second time or whatever. Like, I need to have my guard up or my walls or this, because I know that this ain't the same, but last time this happened, or 10 times, you know, whatever it was. Like, come on, man. Y'all get this. I don't know why they don't admit to this stuff.
More likely to cheat on you.
It's stupid.
There's a whole bunch of reasons why body count matters. A whole bunch.
Let's see, she's cheated 2 out of the 6 times, maybe. Let's just say she cheated on 2 of the 6 guys that she was with. Well, that's 2 bad decisions, and versus her being with 20 to 30 bodies.
But didn't you say earlier that you referred to cheating as, like, same way with crimes? You were talking about patterns repeating. So now are you taking back what you said earlier?
Just because she has cheated doesn't mean she will cheat again. She could continue to still be a cheater.
not what
And
you
at
said
that
earlier,
at that
though.
point, you're making a choice. Do you want to stay with somebody who you know has cheated?
Yeah.
If I knew that, in general, I would probably take her way less seriously, regardless of the body count.
Okay, so yes or no, are you taking back?
It means that there's another option. There's always a third or a fourth or a fifth. You're not pigeonholed into these 2 bad decisions. If you find out that they're both bad decisions, you can make a third choice.
Back what you said earlier.
I don't take back anything I say, dear.
Okay, so you're just contradicting yourself.
I don't think I contradicted myself at all.
Yes, you did. But it's all right.
A pattern's a pattern, but are you going to be stupid enough to jump into that pattern and be the 3rd person that she cheats on, or are you going to avoid it?
Well, 2 seconds ago, you just said that you would be willing to be with a girl that has cheated twice of her 6.
I'd rather be stupid or like, it's just a point of, do you want to be stupid or not?
So
Are
you're
you
gonna be
choose?
stupid?
Do you choose to be stupid? You could be. I've made plenty of stupid decisions because I knew it was stupid. I did it anyway.
Okay, so you're still contradicting yourself.
I don't think so.
I feel like this is
Okay,
why women lie
let-
about their body count.
Well,
This is why.
Well, no. Women lie about their body count because they know inherently that is how they're valued in one form or another by the opposite sex when we're talking about sexual market value, right? Like, you know that a porn star does not get the same level of respect as a mother who's had, two dudes, high school, college kind of thing. Like, there's a different, you know what I mean? There's, and she's married. You know what I mean? There's a different kind of thing there. So you got to remember that.
Well, I think you should.
And the thing is like, it's okay to admit it. Like, if you think that body count doesn't matter, then it's okay. You can tell the girls that really think that body count doesn't matter because they'll say what it is and they'll just be loud and boisterous about it. You know what I mean? They don't give a damn. Oh, I lost count and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? And there's damage there, obviously. But these girls, they realize that a dude that they want is going to, he could listen to this and go, ew. Right. So regardless, they're not going to be putting it out there.
To be honest, but let me ask you a question. So I want to make sure I understand what you said before. So you said that it bothered you or it upset you a little bit that men care so much about body count. I don't want to misquote you. I just want to know kind of what your stance is on this.
So just using what you were saying as an example, it matters more to you that someone has slept with more people than a girl who's like cheated on previous
It makes you less
partners.
special as well.
So what I'm saying is if I found out, I was interested in a guy, if he had cheated on someone before, that's a huge red flag to me. Whereas say he made mistakes, like, he went through a little bit of a hoe phase.
So, first of all, dude did get stumbled up there because he said one thing and then he was backing out, and they were like, gotcha. They were real excited about that, right? But the point is, okay, if you don't know, then you don't know. All things being considered equal, then you pick the girl with the lower body count. Depending on your morals and depending on what you're choosing for, if you know that she's cheated, right, and you just know it's going to be a fling, you're going to mess around with her for a couple weeks or whatever, you'll probably still choose the girl with the low body count because you know she's probably going to cheat or she's for the streets anyway. Like that, you would rather go that route than choose a girl with the 20. Like, you don't even want to think about the girl with the 20, although you'll smash and dash. Like, is this... And I don't understand what is so difficult for them to understand why they think that it's okay to have like all this like woo woo and that guys are going to be cool with this. Like, they're not. And they're telling you they're not. And it doesn't even matter why, to be honest. If you just listen, like we have to listen to you. If you say it's not, then whether we understand it or not, we got to understand it's not. Like, anyways, body count, it matters. We know this. And so do you, ladies. This is A Chill with Bill. Have yourself a good one. Later.